This is Gove Rides. I began my ride like any other, leaving my house and biking down the street. But as soon as I turned the corner, I seen it. Some Whack Arnold's merchandise displayed on a windowsill. For those that don't know, Whack Arnold's is what Dave Chappelle called this place on The Chappelle Show. I'm not quite sure what to think of this. Is this litter? Since the Whack Arnold's user placed this on the windowsill in a decorative fashion, does it add to the mystique of the neighborhood? So it makes me wonder, is this truly the work of an artist or the doings of an asshole who thinks if their trash ain't touching the ground, then they haven't technically littered? So if it is art right now, but the wind blows it on the ground, will it then become trash? Then is the artist responsible for the litter? Or is the wind a vandal for destroying a local artist's expression? These are the questions that keep me up at night. And the bin is only 10 feet away, so in my mind that confirms it. It is art, cause only an asshole would litter their Whack Arnold's trash so close to a bin. Whoever or whatever knocks this onto the ground is a scumbag for destroying local art and causing the only litter I've ever seen in my entire life. That's when I decided to leave the scene, and I gained a new appreciation for street art. But little did I know, so early in the ride, what was still to come. Some of my favorite places to bike are in parks. I often see interesting things that draw my attention. This park was no exception. I noticed this man with his head strapped to a bungee cord. Instead of asking him what he was doing, I decided my best course of action was to film him from far away and come to my own conclusion. After some time analyzing him, I decided that he must be exercising while drunk. He is so dedicated to fitness and getting buckled that he had to come up with a way to do both. And so was born this apparatus. Now he can get wasted and still perform his movements on these rocks without the fear of falling. After a while of filming him, he started to turn his head towards me. So I pretended to be taking pictures of something else. I knew I had to leave before the booze bag caught on to what I was doing. So I grabbed my bike and got the hell out of there. So 90% of my life, I have to take a piss. The other 10%, I'm relieved and things are good. It's a real issue for me. Even right now, I really gotta take a piss. I was riding on this path looking for a good spot to take a piss when I spotted this abandoned UFO and thought, what a stroke of luck. I'll go piss behind this thing. What I saw next was a sign from God. I had found the perfect place to take a piss. 2 old toilets trashed on the ground. I tried lifting it upright so I could piss in it. But before I did the deed, I really wanted to take a minute and analyze this situation. Why did someone haul these heavy-ass things all the way out here? What happened to these toilets that they couldn't perform their primary functions anymore? Think of all the historic moments that were read in newspapers while someone sat on these. The moon landing, 9/11. The Maple Leafs winning the Stanley Cup in 1967. If this porcelain could talk, the stories she'd tell. And now, it's relegated to forgotten existence, dumped behind some building in the woods. Forced to live out its remaining days, defaced with scribbles and beside shitty little baker graffiti. I knew I had to give it one last return to glory by pissing in it. Piss spray. Of course, this is a recreation of that piss using my water bottle, but I can assure you that the real thing was an honor. It was one of the best piss breaks of my life. But like anything in life, the time came to move on and continue this ride. I was making my way downtown and noticed the traffic was seriously backed up. People hanging out of their cars, honking, sex dolls. It seemed like all these people were trying to get to a party. Yep. I pulled up to the epicenter and there was a raging street party going on. Now, I don't get invited to many parties, so I was super excited to say the least. I mean, this party was off the hook. It had everything. There were drugs being passed around, secretly of course. They had a rapper performing live. Like I said before, I don't know much about parties, so I learned that you gotta bring a sign to express how you're feeling. Probably because it's so loud that it's impossible to carry on a conversation with someone. So in the future, if I ever get invited to a party, I'm gonna bring a dope sign. It seemed like everyone in town was trying to get into this party. Cars were lined up for miles. There was even a guy trying to take advantage of the party people, selling shitty overpriced merchandise. I didn't like that guy. I did see that guy with the sex doll again. I don't know how to feel about that. He's probably put that thing through the ringer. I don't really know what else to tell you about it. It was a badass street party, and I'm so glad I found it. Eventually the fire department showed up and put an end to it. But you know, it had a good run. I wouldn't even be able to plan a better way to cap off a bike ride. And the party totally wiped me out. No one talked to me or acknowledged me, but that's cool. That was how I knew I could just leave without having to help clean up. And that party will forever live on in my memories. So that's it. That's how the bike ride played out. Now, I guess I'll probably just leave and go bike some more.